Hello, this is Molly Reamer with Bridget's Grove and 30 Days of Goddess with this week's Rituals of Returning mini video. Heavy emphasis on Gaia this week as we celebrate this month of flourishing, of nourishing, and of Gaia. And so I am using the Seasons of the Witch Beltane Oracle, which was a surprise birthday present from Dawn in our Goddess Magic community, which is very sweet of her. So I'm using that. I'm also using a card from the Goddess Speaks Oracle by Dee Poth, which is very old, if I recall correctly, and I don't know how available it still is, but I happened to come across it when I was finding some other things in my tiny temple, and I spotted the Gaia card, and I thought, well, she is definitely wants to be explored in this week's video. And then I also have the Goddess Days book here with a little Gaia section and this is by Nancy Blair. This originally came with a Goddess in a Box kit. It's usually only available at a pretty high cost in resale, but you can often find the book without the little goddess in the box, and that will be cheaper for you. So anyway, I do apologize for using some out-of-print resources, but I have a really great collection, if I do so myself, of resources, some of which are out of print, but I love learning from these four mothers and way showers of goddess spirituality, and so I don't want to withhold those resources just because they're difficult to get a hold of now. I was really lucky at the time that I started exploring this path where you were still able to find things like that at a reasonable price. This was actually a gift from a friend, so she's the one who found that for me, and I'm not sure how reasonably priced it was, but she got it for me, so thanks, Fanny, for that. And then this one, though, I bought for myself, and at the time that I got it, it was totally reasonably priced still as a used edition, and now I think it's gone up. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and start with the Beltane Oracle card. And so this one, we received Honey, which is a sweet card, though the message is a little interesting. The sweetness of you swells in the grace of your pull, oh so beautifully lethal. So I understand that maybe the usage of the word lethal is, maybe, people will say things, I don't know, makes me sound like a old person. Kids today say things are lethal. But anyway, kids today might say something, they use like kind of lethal beauty or whatever. So lethal is not a term that I usually use to describe things, but we'll think about that. The sweetness of you swells in the grace of your pull, oh so beautifully lethal. And so perhaps it can remind us that sometimes with sweetness comes the destruction of something else. Like when we open up to life's sweetness, sometimes that means letting go of something else. So that is the approach I'm going to take. I see the honey or mead moon in the background. My middle name is actually Mead, after honey wine or meadow. And so anyway, think of this as a mead moon. So let's check in with what the author of the book has to say about this card. And they say this deck is illustrated by Lorraine Anderson and it's written by Lorraine Anderson and Juliet Diaz, and it is illustrated by Giada Rose. And so this is what they have to say about this. You've probably heard the phrase, you catch more flies with honey than you do with vinegar, and this easily applies to manifestation, magic, and even healing. Your soul attracts more with positivity, love, and compassion than it does anger, frustration, and sadness. So if you have found yourself in a period of unrest, jealousy, heartache, or fear, know that the path to healing yourself is through allowing sweetness to swell within your being. So do you have room for delight, for joy, for pleasure? Can you allow sweetness to swell in your being, acknowledging that times feel kind of tough right now, and it can be easy to get swept away in unrest, heartache, and fear, because there's a lot of things to feel fearful and heartachy about. And yet letting sweetness swell through your being really can be an act of resistance and an act of reclamation and an act of repair. Also, rejoice in the success and good fortune of others. Celebrate the good in your life rather than focusing on what's wrong or broken. And I would add, focus on what good you can contribute. Focus on what good you can add. Focus on what good you can share. Find compassion and forgiveness for those who have brought you pain. Each act of sweetness repairs the breaks in your heart and leads you on a journey towards restoration. Your abundance will be tenfold when you walk the path of sweetness. And so the more you lean into kindness of heart, the more increase you shall see return to you. An increase in love, wealth, health, or joy in all of the above. So may you allow yourself periods of sweetness. May you allow yourself to lean into sweetness. May you allow yourself to receive sweetness and to offer sweetness. And as a practice, you may want to have a spoonful of honey. I like a spoonful of honey with cinnamon on the top. It's good for a sore throat and good for allergies too. I'm not an herbalist, I'm not a doctor, but honey with cinnamon on it can be the cure for what ails you sometimes. So anyway, you may wish to offer a little honey. You may wish to leave a little honey outside as an offering to the goddess this May, or you may wish to imbibe the honey yourself. I recommend with cinnamon. It's a personal preference. Okay, so let's go ahead and check in with the Gaia card from The Goddess Speaks by Deepak. And she has Gaia as associated with abundance. Mother Earth, renew and restore my knowledge and respect for you. As my awareness of you as a living being and of the necessity to care for you grows, strengthen my knowledge that I am a part of you and you are a part of me. And as I said in the first video for this month, Gaia is right beneath our feet. This is a goddess we stand on. We actually inhabit her realm at all times. We touch her every single day. We are part of her at all times. And then I'll check in with what the book has to say about her as well. Gaia was the first among goddesses, the first form to emerge from chaos. Her reality gave shape and substance to the void, which had been limitless. Thus, she brought the possibility of order and purpose to Earth. So that's an interesting way to look at her. She brought order and purpose to Earth. And so she's, what else? We know the Gaia hypothesis, the idea of the Earth as a living organism, which is actually viewed seriously by modern science, and it fosters a new attitude towards the needs of the Earth, as well as an increased awareness of our personal responsibilities. After thousands of years of exploitation, humans are unfolding a new consciousness of Gaia. This awareness is a healing force for our planet and for ourselves as we honor the source of life and abundance and the source of sweetness right here with us. Okay, so that brings me over to our Goddess Days book, and we'll see what we find here in this section about Gaia. I still have my Bridget bookmark in there, holding space. And let's see what we have. About Gaia, you are grounded in great strength. So a good affirmation for this week, I am grounded in great strength. And then it says, share it wisely. So another affirmation could be, I share my strength. I share my strength. She has been called by 1,000 names, Gaia, mother of all, Mother Nature, Big Mama Blue. She is the blessed Earth Mother who sustains our lives with her own. She existed before time began. Time itself was one of her children. Time itself was one of her children. Throughout the ages, the many diverse earth-honoring people held festivities to express gratitude for the gifts she gave, placing honey cakes, I didn't even see that, honey cakes and grains at doorways, crossroads, and in gardens and fields, and strewing herbs in houses and temples. So a practice for this week, in addition to offering some honey, might be placing some honey, cake, or grain at a doorway or at a crossroads or in the gardens or the fields, as well as strewing some herbs about. Lighting candles, singing, dancing, and making merry were integral parts of the vibrant religion of our ancestors who worshipped the ground they walked on. For at least 250,000 years and possibly up to 800,000 years, our ancestors honored their homelands in reverent and meaningful rituals. Every act of living and being reflected a deep and direct understanding of Gaia as a sacred source and resource. So another affirmation might be, I honor my sacred source. I honor the land I walk upon. I give thanks. I give thanks. She gives her name to the theory that all of Earth is a living creature. She lives. And so then another practice. Take a long, slow breath. Never for a moment are you alone. The air you breathe is a gift from her body. Resonate with her unconditional blessings. Make a simple offering. So another practice is make a simple offering. I have my little rose petals here to offer. Make a simple offering to the earth. Begin with, I will. I will relish life's sweetness. I will continue to offer good into this world. And then she has a little prayer slash affirmation slash little guidance here. I am a child of Gaia. She holds me. She will never let me go. I am in awe of her divine design flowing all around me and through me. I think twice about my actions, including the earth, in all of my decision making. And then I did have a little word from my month's words guide. So may I allow pleasure and sweetness to guide me. May I allow pleasure and sweetness to guide me. And a little prayer, a little reminder, a little practice, a little opportunity. Let us wait and listen, the unknowing held inside. Let us be still and watching, our questions in the cauldron to boil. After plenty of long, slow time, let us dip into what we've brewed. Let us uncover what we've discovered with time to steep. Let us know wholeness and peace. So another affirmation, I know wholeness and peace. And then we're closing with this card, which is one of the Inspiration Oracle cards that I give to our Goddess Magic members to accompany these mini rituals. And this is so vital. This is really the cornerstone of my next book, which is going to be called Return. And this is really the cornerstone of what I do. My practice is to return over and over again, to step into the sacred and remember my own belonging, to open myself to what is now, to be present for what's arising and unfolding. My practice is to be here, noticing. So may you savor sweetness this week, and may you be here, noticing. May you let your own joy guide you. Thank you so much for being here. Keep living your magic, everybody. Bye-bye.